Hello there, guys, and welcome back to the second game of the night. It's going to be the UK GT League, and once again, in tonight's best of two, it is Enemies in Disbelief versus Impulse Gaming. We already saw a very impressive win for Enemies in Disbelief earlier on Mirage. Joining me tonight is going to be Snods, and he's here to break down a little bit about these teams for you all quickly before we go into this.
I mean, we've already seen one map so far, and I have the stream going right in my back, not my back, but there we go. Sorry for that. I had the stream going back in my head twice. So, anyway, enough of that. Already seen one map so far. Mirage, a very convincing win there for Enemies in Disbelief. 16-5. Very weak showing from Impulse Gaming. And I mentioned before, I expected far, far more from this lineup, right? You've got Ray1, Nuki, those are your talented players. Samuel and Cynic, those are your core, what's the word I'm looking for? Sturdy, consistent players. Obviously, ex-Nerd Rage players, ex-Nerd Rage core. And then Jamie James is your support rifle. I mean, the lineup works. On paper, it works. And in the qualifiers, it did as well. Very strong showing. Some good upsets as well versus top teams. Problem is, so far, their first showing here tonight has been very, very lackluster. Only managed to gain 5 rounds versus Enemies in Disbelief. And the players were sitting on Enemies in Disbelief. We didn't really quite cover it just beforehand because we went into things straight away. But let's cover it. Bad is Zio. Different name. Don't ask me why. We've asked players to change their names, but you know, players are players. Dances, very passive rifler. One of the previous players on this actual team, Enemies in Disbelief, that went to I-58 and actually came top 4. Logsy as well, the IGL. Dream, the AWPer, we saw him get some great opening kills in us for the last map. Ryan, just subbing in for tonight, and Zio as well. Going into this one, already seeing some action towards mid.
Yeah, very early on, a heavy mid presence coming out from Enemies in Disbelief. Ooh. Samuel quick to find one onto Dream there, and gonna be able to find a second as well. Logsy next to 4. It's Ray1 gonna be able to drop.
Oh my!
Dreamer, and in the blink of an eye, it's gonna be just completely shut down for Impulse. Sorry, for Enemies in Disbelief. There is Impulse Gaming. They come out in a huge fashion. It's the start they needed, and it's the start they wanted. A very, very quick pistol round. Very little damage done across the board. I don't even think anyone got hit, with the exception of. No, I don't think anyone got hit on the side of Impulse Gaming. So a very quick, clean pistol round, and that is exactly what they needed to kickstart their second game of the night here on Cash.
Very strange pistol as well. Typically, when you take control of mid on your T pistol, you boost up 2 players, 3 players, or you boost up 3 players, 2 players in a main, smoke highway, flash, and you execute that way, right? You have the players highway take attention off of the A site CT players. Oh my god, talk about tension. Nuki's got mine as he finds 2 very crisp one taps onto Dream and his fellow teammate as they do fall, making it the 2 versus 5. And if Impulse Gaming can keep up this individual showing, which I'm watching right now, and a lack of coordination as well from Enemies in Disbelief, what we've seen on the pistol and this round here, could be seeing potentially a 1-1.
Yeah, there is Ryan over here over at Squeaky. He's just biding his time with a minute left. They are not in short supply of it. As we've seen the rotate coming in from Dreamer, trying to rendezvous with his team. But surely pushing on round. And not Dreamer, sorry, Zio trying to meet up with the rest of his team. And now going to be pushing in towards this A site. Ryan's tagged down low. The rotate already there. 3 players here to deal with this. And the FAMAS is just raining death upon Enemies in Disbelief as they get shut down on the push there. 2-0 secured for Impulse Gaming as they completely lock down the A site. It's going to be another hard eco for Enemies in Disbelief, which should allow Impulse Gaming to convert that one to a 3-0 scoreline.
This is the money round for Impulse. You've got the SMG there on Ray1. You really want him to try and play aggressive, mop up the cash, try and get, 1.2k, 1.8k to his name. And actually, a little bit of team damage there going onto Logsy. Here comes this A burst, and they're going to be going through A main. 5 players, no one's down. 3 fast frags, 4. The pistol is whipped out. Should be Cynic John take that one down. 3-0. And I've got Ryan shouting in my ear. I'm going to have to turn voice enable 0 on. And we'll be going into the 4th round here. And what are you anticipating for this one? Harry, 5 rifles, what do you reckon?
I imagine they're just going to kind of go for a little bit of mid-aggression over towards A as well, potentially. I mean, that's normally what we're going to be seeing. As you do see the boost coming out, flashes very early on. They try pushing through the molly, but do pay the price for it. Cynic through the fire and flames can be able to find that one onto Dances. It's the bad advantage seized early on here for Impulse Gaming. As you just lock it down once again. Mid completely denied and off the cards very early on. Enemies in Disbelief now a little bit stunned and confused, having to play off of this one in a rather shoddy situation.
Shoddy indeed. Is there a man down and potentially more? Actually, no, Jimmy James wins that. Dream does fall. And already the 3 versus 5 with 1 minute 10 on the clock. The spray comes through. Ryan connects the headshot. Samuel towards heaven. This is quite an awkward angle for... Oh my goodness, he's somehow dropped off. Peeking towards Forklift. Now the flash comes in. Actually, oh my god, it's Cast or something. Sprays down another player. Ryan does fall. Karma there for how he killed that player towards Squeaky. And bad, or should I say Zio, left in the 1 versus 2. And the bomb is towards a main. It could even be boost, I'm not too sure. But Nuki silences that one. And the round 4-0. I mean, I put you on the spot there when I tested you. I said, what are they going to do? And you did get it correct. 5 rifles, heavy play towards mid. You had Dances pushing for the Molotov, drops early, and Impulse Gaming, they slow the round down. They allow enemies in disbelief to make the mistakes, go for those dry peaks, to take advantage and secure that one. And already 4-0.
Yeah, I mean, it is a commanding lead grabbed here. And like we were saying, it's a very strong lineup, and they look to be even stronger as Samwell going to be finding an early frag over in mid. Dancy's first to fall. The early man advantage seized right now for Impulse Gaming. And with no answer coming out from enemies in disbelief just yet, it looks to be potentially another round on the cards here for Impulse Gaming. As it is only Deagles right now across the board for the remaining 4 members of enemies in disbelief. Once again, sitting about to find bad over in mid. And next up, it's Samwell on the site. Locks down 2. He's just shutting it down. It's a hat trick for him right now as Ryan pushes on out, hoping to try and find maybe just one single consolation frag for his troubles. Not going to be the case as Samwell finishes off that round with 4 frags to his name. A very commandeering hold there over towards A.
0 rounds, 5 rounds in. And who's in disbelief? Just have to step up this one. Dances with it up this time, not Dream. Typically speak. Oh, it does have the mid spawn actually looking here. Let's see if he goes for it. Quite risky. Typically, CT players do nade towards mid, but it's definitely worth the risk. If you can kill that player that goes towards highway, makes a massive entry towards A, and he hits the flick. Samuel forwards, and this means they can rotate now towards A, or they can fake it, slow the round down, play the trade game, stack up together as a 5 or as a 4, as a wolf pack, and try and trade the frags and win the round carefully and methodically. But the bomber shall be picked up. They know that the CT defense is going to have to be spread out here as there are a man down, and they make the right read here as they are attacking the A bomb site. Oh, the tag comes in, but Cynics is still alive.
Yeah, right now, I mean, I do find that entry frag, but really, there's not going to be too much else to capitalize on the back, but they make their way out towards A, but Cynic's already rotating up highway here to back up Jammy. The crossfire is there. There's, very little in the way of utility coming out right now and towards the A site, but they have got Dreamer pushed very far up, and that's actually going to allow them to find some progress out towards the site. Dances and Ryan going to be on the entry, and it's actually Dream going aggressive over towards Truck to find one. No one able to get that return in, but it does leave him in a 1v4. Being tasked with trying to save, but can't quite do it. Longsy able to eliminate him, and that's going to be the first round on the board for enemies in disbelief.
Interesting there, actually. Ray 1 again last alive for his team. I mean, enemies in disbelief. First round they've won. He knows their money's low. In my ideas, should have or could have potentially just played for X's there, tried and get the kills instead of just falling back and dying. Does die in the end, but still 4-round advantage for Impulse. And actually Nuki here getting aggressive towards their main, peeks out and Dances falls. 1-man lead already. Nade goes in, doesn't quite connect any damage though. But the damage is dealt in the numbers. It's only 4 for enemies in disbelief. 1 minute 30 on the clock. It's going to be very hard for them to bring this one back. But they are together on the B bomb, so they can play the trade game here, but they do anticipate that player behind the back boxes or the player in vent.
Just players being mopped up left and right now. Enemies in disbelief, they're really struggling to make their way out here, but it's actually Logsy in that very forward position on the B site to find one. It's the entry they were hoping for as they do continue this. It's Ray 1 peeking out from a very unideal location to find that frag against all odds, leaving it all on Zio. 1v4. He does have the bomb. He has 55 seconds left. He goes for the peek in towards Checkers. Able to get one. Cynic over in vent will have to fall on back. Doesn't want to give away that site too heavily. Doesn't want to give away another man, to the hand of Zio here. And as he continues his aggression out towards this B site, it's looking like he could potentially get this bomb down. 1v3. The crossfire is going to be set up, and as Cynic goes aggressive, it's going to be made that much harder. We'll be able to find that frag. 6-1 right now for Impulse, who've been playing a textbook CT side.
Yep, very standard. A main spawn. Nuki takes it, takes the frag, and they play nice and slow. They don't want to get re-aggressive. They don't need to play for information. They can simply play retake towards B, play passive. This is exactly what happened. You had the player towards back boxes. He allowed Logsy to get onto the B-bomb site, but he didn't care because he knew they were going to win the round anyway as long as he played slow and steady and got that one kill. When you got the man advantage, if every player alive gets one kill, the round's won, and that's how they played it. Nuki again with the spawn, trying to bully out Dancy's here. This is quite good psychologically as well. If you know you're playing versus an AWP that's going to get in your face and play aggressive, you do play quite hesitant. And this could actually make quite an impact later on into the half, and already Samuel finds the gun dream with 1 minute 20 in the clock. Again, Impulse with the one-man advantage. And this is going to have to funnel enemies in disbelief towards the A bomb site. As the bomb is under boost, I might actually boost up player towards mid, try and get a frag highway. If they get the frag highway, eventually go towards A.
It will be the rifle player heading out towards mid. Logsy boosted on up, wants to try and kick this off, but does make his way out undetected. No one there to watch it either, as you can see, sitting now rotates up highway on towards the A site. It's a nice read here. There are 3 players posted up on towards A. Nuki able to find one, goes in for the second. Is able to land it, leaving it all on Logsy, the lone at mid flank, and he's quickly dealt with by Cynic, allowing Impulse to arrive at 7-1. A very, very different team and a very different scoreline to what we saw previously on Mirage.
It's almost as if they've reversed, right? I think it was, what, 8-1, 7-1, and we were back in those same shoes here, but different teams. They've reversed it. Impulse game with the lead. Let's see if they can continue it. I don't want to say choke, but slip up later on into the half and eventually allow enemies in disbelief. I keep struggling with that. I'm not too sure why, but see if they slip up and allow enemies in disbelief to get back into it. But so far, stronghold towards A. Got Jamie James there and Samuel locking this one down again. Still, 2 players got Squeaky, and there's still 2 players in A main. Coordination there from the T players. But nevertheless, this is the eco round, so not really too much going into this one. Not too much thought here. Nuki somehow behind the players. Not too sure how. Playing aggressive there. Doesn't let him the information that both these players are towards A, and that will secure the round and lock it down. So, 8-1. Already the 7th round lead for Impulse. And the buy for the T side is going to be weak. I don't think we're going to be seeing an AWP here. So as you mentioned before, this could be heavy mid.
Yeah, I mean, they have got a lot of rifles, but I mean, it wouldn't surprise me if we see enemies in disbelief maybe try and change things up. They've been doing the same sort of strats over and over again. They haven't been working. And I mean, ideally, I'd like to see them just kind of fan out, take things a little bit slower, wait for Impulse to potentially walk into their crosshairs, you know, spread out towards B and just play, you know, almost like a very, very standard default contact play of just trying to pick up an entry. But instead, it will be more mid presence coming on out like we said in the first couple of rounds, as that dream will be boosted. And that shot,
that's so unlucky.
How unlucky can you get? He's going to be tagged down 11 HP, but he's angry, makes his way out mid, going to be dropping Samuel out of the equation. Nuki wants to go for the repeat, but he knows he shouldn't. Oh, there we go. That's why you shouldn't. You lose your head. He gets taken out. It's a 4-on-2 now. The man advantage for enemies in disbelief. Make that another frag. 4 versus 1. It's all on Ray 1 here. As he rotates in from that B site, will be just walking into the waiting arms of Dream, who can't quite land the shot. Actually going to be punished there for that really aggressive peek, but does enough damage for Ray 1 to try and fall on back to save. Ryan, of course, are not going to let that happen, and it will be an 8-2 scoreline. Still in favor of Impulse, but enemies, they get a much-needed round.
Yep, right player there for Ray 1. He knows the money on enemies' disbelief is low, and plays for the exits, gets 1 kill, but doesn't quite expect that second player there. It's already been main. Catches him off guard and he shall fall, but the money is still very, I say very strong. It was very strong before the buy came in. So if enemies in disbelief can chain a few more rounds, they shall break the economy of Impulse. And that's really how they're going to get back into this one. Nuki here holding the angle, shoots as the smoke blooms. Doesn't quite land the frag though, and already we're seeing a boost towards mid. Could be a delayed mid take here. We saw last time Dancy's, and I believe that was Dream towards mid main. They flashed and they pushed through. And actually, Logsy on his solo mission here towards B does fall. And again, the delayed mid take happens. Here comes the mid aggression.
Oh no, Dream gonna be able to find that one. Cynic punished for playing that close angle. Well, now it's a 4-on-4. Can see the enemies in disbelief. They've found a little bit of a resurgence here, a little bit more confidence in their plays. Zio will be dropped out. He was low HP, so he's going to be eliminated there on the aggression from Samuel. But now they know where he is. 2 players here to try and check this angle. Ryan will be caught with a nade out, and that flash going to be perfect. But Darcy still gets the frag anyway. He couldn't see a thing. They're going to be able to land that shot as they continue this aggression out towards Adrian. On the mop-up Jammy. He finds himself a second on Array 1 as well, leaving it all on Nuki over towards mid. He's got an AWP. He's got to be a little bit angry as well, but in a 1 versus 3 with the AWP in hand. Not really the ideal weapon for this scenario. Pushes up towards truck. Dream goes for the aggressive peek. Now we've seen him fail this time and time again, and this looks to be no exception as he gets shut down. Now it's a 2v1, and suddenly Nuki looking like he could make this happen.
Kit to his name, but no utility. And with the lack of utility, it means it's a dry peek into the crosshair of Ryan. And he shall spray him down, saves the AWP as well. Good for the economy of enemies in disbelief. Is he going to keep that? Ryan with an AWP. I mean, I play this guy a lot, and I've never seen him AWP before. And that says something, right? Nope, good. Thankfully, he does drop it over to Dances, and so far, Dances has been playing very strong. I mean, look at the scoreboard. Wow, I say that, 4 kills. Each kill I saw was a nice kill, right? I'll give him that. Samuel, though, leading the charge 17-4. A monster half so far from him. Dream comes through the smoke, down the flash. Takes that one play. Can he spread on the second? Doesn't quite tap him, or sorry, tag him as much as he probably thought. Re-big hit, sprays down the second player. Nuki falls. And soon the money on Impulse Gaming shall whittle down to 0. We could be seeing an economy breakdown and meltdown for Impulse here. Maybe this is the way that Impulse come back.
Yeah, the man advantage is going to be going the way of enemies in disbelief right now. And like you say, this is going to be a very crucial round for both teams. Whoever picks it up could potentially be winning 2 in a row, just thanks to the economic breakdown of the other team. Samwell, aka Dr. Whiffington, missing those shots out towards mid. Now it's a 2-on-4, and with no one there to trade that out just yet, it is going to be that advantage saved. Jamie James over A, the linchpin of the A site, has to try and hold this down. They can see his head over the barrel. Surely those nades raining in damage, and he's going to be dropped out of the equation. Zeo mopping him up, leaving it all on Ray 1. Once again, the lone B rotator, tasked with trying to pick this round up in a 1 versus 3. Makes his way out truck. The AWP does miss from Dances. This allows him a little bit of leeway out towards the site. Goes up for the peak again. Dances misses, but already too much time has gone and just been whittled away, and he will have to fall on back and save. It's going to be 8-4 as enemies in disbelief. Yeah, I know. It's because they're always just hitting that A site almost religiously. Yep. And, you know, it's been working for them the last couple of rounds. They've found where the weak point is, and they just keep hitting it time and time again until Impulse do something about it.
It feels like the weak point is mid, though. Constantly, we see Dream get multiple frags. Ooh, that's a nice shot. I thought it was a headshot. Anyway, constantly, we see enemies in disbelief push up highway. Dream, alone, on his own, somehow finds multiple kills and multiple entries onto the A bomb site for his team here. And I mentioned the money before, and you can see right here, if they force this one, there will be a FAMAS drop, but I highly, highly doubt it. Gonna go for the save hit. Want to buy up into the next one. Potentially here, if they can go 9-6, 9-6 for your CT half, and the current meta of cash is strong. Typically speaking, we see very, very heavily favored T sides, especially when the players are, you know, questionably more individually skilled on the T side. I mean, look at these names on paper. Dream, Ryan, Dances, and Zeo. I'm going to put the skill in favor of enemies in disbelief, but so far, skill hasn't been enough for them because Impulse Gaming and Samuel have been locking this one down very, very well. And we're in a 4 versus 4. Don't get your hopes up too much if you are an Impulse fan because there's no armor on 3 of these players. So, going to have to be quite the miracle here if Impulse do carry this one through.
Once again, enemies in disbelief lining up towards A, where they've had, you know, buckets of success, and there will be a frag going the way of Impulse over towards mid, but Dream quick to refrag out on towards the A site, going to put it back into a 3-on-3. They continue just this raw aggression, but Ray 1 going to be shutting them down. It's going to be tagged by the AWP down to 6 HP, but he's still very much a threat here as he's been landing these headshots. They don't have any utility to flush him out with the exception of that incendiary grenade on the back of Dances, and with Nuki coming in from A main angle with the AK, this round isn't all said and done just yet. Goes for the peak, going to find good damage, and he actually gets the frag. Now it's all on Dream, 1 versus 2. And he's so low HP, he's got to land the no-scope there, and he can't. Just looking away at the wrong time. Going to allow Ray1 to pick that up. 3 frags for him, and a huge round on his behalf to carry a 9th round onto the scoreboard for Impulse.
So initially there, I was confused. I said, why? Why is he chucking that nade and giving away his position? Nuki had no armor. He couldn't directly face into a player towards quad. I mean, he didn't, he won it, but in theory, that shouldn't happen. He should be losing that duel. So he chucked the nade out, tried to do some damage before he died, and tried to damage or attack a player that was already damaged. And here comes this B push. Already Nuki and Ray1 find 1. He dances down with a nice frag, a nice trade. While Nuki finds 2 before he falls. And Cynic John here on the fast rotate actually sprays down 2 players with the collateral. Spray down with the silenced M4, making it 10-4. And where's the pause? Where's the pause?
I mean, yeah, a pause is definitely needed at this point. But I mean, still, Cash is slightly CT-sided, although we have kind of seen it shift maybe more towards the T side with certain teams in as of late. So 4 rounds right now for Enemies in Disbelief obviously isn't where they want to be. All I can say is on Mirage, their CT side was incredibly strong. So that's where they're going to have to try and really pick up the pace and redeem themselves. As we head into the last round and a half, we see Nuki changing things up. Does go aggressive over towards Squeaky, but has to fall on back. The counter boost up mid could prove to be a disaster here. It's going to allow Ray1 to pick up 1 frag. Zio's there to try and get one of his own, but it's just Ray1 and Samuel locking things down once again. Logsy alone and scared over towards B, just walking into the harrowing gunfire on behalf of Samuel, and is able to get that, sorry, on the Jammy James, is able to get that 1 frag as Samuel does find Dream over towards A, but still it's a 1v3. He's got a lot left to find, and he's in a very bad situation.
I think very bad is to put it lightly here. No utility, M4 and an AWP on Nuki. Oh, nice shot there. Actually dinked him through the wall then, luckily, but Nuki finds him. And Logsy falls 11-4 here. I did not anticipate that. CT side from Impulse, from what we saw last time when they were playing the T side, they lacked the skill initially is what I thought, but definitely a stark contrast here on Cash. Maybe in their heads they gave up very, very early in Mirage and thought, you know what, lads, they can have Mirage, it's their pick, this is our pick, we'll take Cash. Give them Mirage, give them false hope. You know, make them play stupid at the start of Cash and then take advantage of that and try and snowball that lead into a strong half, and they've done just that, 11-4. So much pressure here on Enemies in Disbelief to get the CT pistol if they want any chance of clawing this one back, and Kit on Ryan, maybe a smoke as well, we'll see. Usually the play of the Kit smoke plays towards A, plays retake A, but we shall see what happens.
Yeah, I mean, it does look like Impulse Gaming going to be trying their luck over towards B. It's currently 3 players here to lock this down. They do try going aggressive, and they're ultimately looking like it's going to pay off as Logsy lands some nice shots to kick this round off, but refrags raining on through as Nuki does great damage, and suddenly it's gone so wrong. It's all on Ryan, 1 versus 2, trying to make his way in through CT. As he peeks out with the use, able to land a nice first shot. Now it's all on Ray1, the clutch king right now, versus the standard for Enemies in Disbelief. It's going to be looking tricky. And he couldn't quite live up to the pedigree. It's going to be a 12-4 scoreline secured right now for Impulse Gaming as they win that pistol round by the skin of their teeth.
The fadeaway headshot there from Ray1. None of those players had armor in that 1 versus 1, and having the Tech 9 is such a massive advantage. You can spray, have the aim punch on the CT player, and just pray for a headshot. That's exactly what happened. Ray1 takes him down. And we saw what happened in the last map, 11-4. The team that had 11 won the pistol and eventually closed out very convincingly. And it's looking like the same right here. Enemies of Disbelief looking to go 1-1 with Impulse Gaming. But, I mean, talk on consistency, right? Both of these teams, this is really the first time we've seen them in an official setting. Enemies of Disbelief, they're a mix, fair play. They're playing with stand-ins, Zio and Ryan. They're going to have Cinder and Thomas, who are, I don't want to say upgrades, but definitely going to fit into this team a lot better than a player like Ryan, who hasn't played in Team CS before, and he's just, you know, a pugger who enjoys Counter-Strike with a lot of hours. So, interesting to see already a strong showing on Mirage from Enemies of Disbelief without their full roster. But can't really talk too much about them, right? You can't harp on them for having inconsistencies when this isn't their full lineup. But talking about full lineup, it's going to be a full lineup of T players as the CT sticks on there with a nice 2 refrag there, making it a 2 versus 3.
Yeah, lots of aggression out towards the A site here. Bomb going to be going down, and the retake up to Ryan and Dream. They have got a scout on Ryan, but he finds himself the furthest away out of the 2. Dream going to be the first player to make some contact out towards the A site, and with 2 players over in main, Bomb going to be planting for there as well. It's not looking good here for the retake. It's going to be very tricky to say the least. Dream able to find 1, looking for a second, not going to be able to land it. Jammy James quick to refrag and remedy that one, leaving it all on Ryan. He does have the scout, but he's got to hit those heads in order to make this work. Flash goes out. Not going to hit its mark, but Ryan, I mean, so much time whittled away here. Won't be able to get it. Looking to go aggressive, trying to take some guns off of these guys, but Cynic not going to let that happen. 13-4 right now as Impulse. They're looking to be in top form here in the second half.
I mean, you mentioned top form. It's like, last map, what did they show? Absolutely nothing. Here, a very, very different showing. And I mean, that does beg the question, are you consistent? If you're not consistent, then there's flaws in your structure. There's flaws in your fundamentals of Counter-Strike. yes, you might have phenomenal games, great upsets, great one-map upsets, but to me, I want to see Impulse have consistency. I want them to show me something where I'm like, you know what, that's repeatable. You know what, I can. Don't want to say fund that. What's the money I'm looking for? Back that. I can put my money behind that, and I know I have faith that they're going to bring me something. But obviously, first game could have been nerves, could have been lack of experience. Who knows? But a lack of head armor is what's on the CT's plate, as they do fall with some nice one taps from Samuel and Co.
Oh, Ryan with the use, trying to channel his inner Sam Fisher. Can't quite land up the shots. And Samuel with the Galil, he's already found a couple of headshots with it. Going to be looking for another. That's 3 kills for him. And oh, there's Zio in mid. Just looking the wrong way. You know, binoculars firmly downwind. And sadly will be dropped out of the equation. 14-4 right now. Impulse Gaming almost looking infallible here on their T side. A very, very good start. Now finally going to be put to the test when enemies in disbelief buy up these rifles. They've got the AWP up on Zio as well. Not going to be passing that around for anyone else to try and use. Instead, going to be focusing it over towards him. And as we can see, he'll be holding that B site backed up by Logsy. Mid control going to be tasked over towards Dream, who does only have that M4. Leaving a lot up to him, a lot up to them, but it will be just rifles across the board for Impulse Gaming.
Yep, unfortunately, since there's someone does tag up Nuki, you know, you've got to be expecting your partner to keep refacing their jiggle peeking back and forth. But 5 rifles, not really too convinced they're going to want the AWP here. Whatever they're doing is working, and they've definitely been showing a very strong rifle play. Haven't seen too much of an AWP so far on both sides, really. A lot of these players have been having star performances with rifles. We saw Dream play very well with the AWP Mirage, and then this map played very well early on in the first half, with the AK towards mid. So quite strange, considering how important the AWP usually is. But their AWP, Nuki finds the first kill with the rifle and the server has frozen.
Oh, it's intense. It's all good. We're still fine. It's not even nest nodes. It's all good. But I tell you what is crashing, looking like it's actually going to be the side of Impulse here as they get completely shut down on the push. But then Samuel and Ray 1 quick to try and sort things out. Going to be putting into a 2-on-2. Make that a 2-on-1 as Dream channels his inner scream there to find Samuel. Now it's all on Ray 1, pushing up through main here.
Oh no!
Oh no, Ray 1, he's going to be tagged down merely 6 HP, but he gets the kill anyway. That flash going to hit its mark, and he does spot out that last player, and he lands the frag. No, he shouldn't have been able to get away with that one. Oh, Impulse Gaming, they're going to arrive at match point, and enemies in disbelief. They've got to be feeling deeply, deeply ashamed and embarrassed at this point.
Talk about embarrassed. Oh my goodness, Dream. Well, yeah, he's tilted. He's very tilted. Team kills Logsy. He knows the game's over. He doesn't care. He's tilted after that massive whiff onto that player. I believe it's Ray 1. And somehow 5 HP Ray 1 clutches that, making it 15-4. And we're in a 4 versus 3, but I don't really see too much hope here for the CT side.
No, me neither. I mean, you know, you've got Zio up on the Mag 7. He's had a lot of success with it in the past, as we're seeing that replicated here as he does drop out Ray 1. A little bit of revenge there, but ultimately these frags looking like they're going to be in vain. As you can see, Ryan falls now. They're pushing it towards the A site. Samuel able to find Darcy. He's leaving it all on Zio here. 1v3 as he pushes up through Connect. They might be able to catch one of these players off guard, but really it's looking like GG. It's already been called in chat. Oh, Samuel, there we go. That's how you want to be ending it. 16-4 as this series goes 1-1 for tonight.